Good morning. Welcome to 11.3, Problem Solving Direct Comparison. We're on page 477, 477. For this one it says, compare the lengths or heights of two classroom objects. Draw the objects. Tell a friend about your drawing. So to compare heights, we would start with this bottom line and draw up because this is where the floor would be in our classroom. And then if we wanted to compare lengths, we'd start from this black line and go across to compare how long something is. So if we think back to our classroom, we had a chair and table that we sat on every single day. We can compare those two with height. So we're going to start on this bottom line as if it's the floor in our classroom, and we're going to draw our chair just like this. And then we're going to start on the bottom line to draw our table. And so we go up, across, down, and I'm going to give it 4 legs because that's what our tables had in the classroom. Now to compare them, we're going to start from the bottom, go up, and then this is how high the chair is. Now if we draw a line across, it's taller than our table. So our chair is taller than our table. Now if we wanted to do length, we'd start on this line and we'd go across. So I'm thinking of our whiteboard that we used to use where Mrs. Hall wrote the calendar. And we would draw a whiteboard all the way across. And then we had our board that was pulled down to project our videos on. And that board didn't go quite as far as this, but if we start on the same line over here and we drew our board that was pulled down to project videos, and that went a little further than our whiteboard most mornings, and you can see that the whiteboard goes all the way out here and our screen that projected our videos only went here. So our whiteboard is longer than our projected screen. Good. Go ahead and turn the page to 478. 478. On this blank page, we're going to find 2 small classroom objects. Place one end of each object on the line. Compare the lengths. Draw objects, say longer than, shorter than, or about the same length to describe the lengths. Circle the longer object. So because we're talking about what is longer, we're going to see this line on the side and we're going to draw our shapes that direction. So I'm thinking about our classroom and I'm thinking about our 10 frame that is up by our calendar in the morning. So our 10 frame goes about here, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we have our 10 frame that would tell us what day of the school year we were in. And then another object that's near that we can compare the length was our calendar, and our calendar was much bigger. Our calendar went all the way here, and since we are in the month of April, I will put April at the top. So now we're going to compare, is our 10 frame longer than our calendar, or is our calendar longer than our 10 frame? Very good. Our calendar is longer, so we're going to circle our calendar to be longer. Now let's move on to page 479, 479. On this blank page, it says find 2 small classroom objects. Place one end of each object on the line. Compare the heights. Draw the objects. Say taller than, shorter than, or about the same height to describe the heights. Circle the shorter object. So we're going to use, to describe height, we're going to use this line and draw up. And I'm thinking immediately of our pencils. So I'm going to draw a pencil. And our markers. So our markers usually were taller and fatter. And we can write purple if you want to make it so you know that was the marker. And now we're going to circle which one is shorter. So I have my pencil and my marker, and I can see that my pencil is shorter than my marker. So I'm going to go ahead and circle my pencil. Good job. Go ahead and turn the page to page 480, 480. Number 1 up here says, make a cube train that is shorter than the one shown. Draw the cube train. So we're going to start on the same line that the blue cube train starts on, and we're going to go across and make a shorter cube train. But to make sure that it's shorter, because our drawings don't always match up, let's count how many blue cubes are on this train so we know to make them shorter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what's going to make a cube train shorter than 6? Great, 5 and below. So I'm going to go ahead and start here and make my cube train. I'm going to go ahead and choose to do 4. So I'm going to stop at 4, draw my big, and then go ahead and make it each into a cube. And don't forget our little snap at the end. So there we have a shorter cube train than the one they gave us. Now number 2 says, circle the crayons that are about the same length. So we're going to start on these lines, and we're going to go across and see what's about the same length. So we're going to compare this one and this one first. And here's where this one ends, and draw a line down. Oh, this one's longer than that one, so those two don't match. So now we can take this line and go straight down. Up. This one is shorter than this one, so those two don't match length. So now let's draw a line from this one all the way down to that third one, and they are about the same length. So we're going to go ahead and circle this one and this one. They are about the same length. Very good. Number 3. Number 3 says, circle the crayon that is shorter. So we're going to look at these two and start at the same spot on the bottom and go up. And we notice right away this one's taller than this one, so this must be shorter than this one. So it said circle the shorter crayon, and we're going to circle that one. Great. And number 4, the one with all the pencils, it says, choose all the sets with 2 pencils that are about the same length. So that means there could be more than one answer. So let's go ahead and look, starting with this one. We start at the same line and we go across, but this one is shorter than that one. So that does not make sense to be about the same length. Move on to this one. We're going to start at the same line again and move across, and look at that. They both end about the same spot. So that one is about the same length. Now look at these two. Start at the same point, go across. Uh-oh. This one's shorter than this one's longer than this one. So they're not about the same length. And move on to the last one. Start at the same point again and go all the way across, and look, they end almost about the exact same spot. So that one is about the same length. Good job today. Have a great time learning math.